Hey guys, Jason, along with my co-host Rich, and we're in Victory Brand Studios. And on today's episode, we've got Yoshi in the house, and he's got an interesting one about Renniks.
Okay, your mic's on this time, right?
Now yours is on.
Okay, now mine's on. Okay, just as long as we got mics on.
Dude, shut up.
It's not always fun and games for first responders.
05 Central, you show me in pursuit.
But sometimes it is.
Oh my God, he's not wearing pants again.
Sometimes it's dangerous.
Flipping around, look out, look out, look out.
Sometimes it's not.
Antler Boulevard for a snake in a house.
And sometimes it's just plain stupid.
Chihuahua in his lap on a lawnmower.
This is the stupid side of first response.
Dispatch, do I really have to go to that?
This is Code 0.5.
Come in 0.5.
All right, Yoshi. You know, this will be his, I guess this will actually be his first one on then.
This is my
Everybody
debut,
will hear. So don't disappoint.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best here.
If you disappoint people, I mean, we're going to tell you to kick rocks.
That's okay.
Either that or you can take my spot and I'll stay at home from now on.
Yeah.
I'm here for you. That's what it's all about.
Okay. Renniks.
Yeah. So start from the
Yeah, that was a... Yeah.
Why is it everybody we get on here has some bullshit they can tell about Renniks?
He gets around, man. He's into things. He's like a liquid, like a really itchy liquid
Itchy.
that chafes
Damn, man, that's awful.
like sand, liquid sand,
All right.
squand.
We won't interrupt anymore.
Okay.
All right. So I get this call to go out to this auction. Right. And I go out and they want this lady trespass, the Asian lady.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the bat, not a whole good lot of translating coming through. Right.
Got a language barrier.
Yeah, a language barrier. And so I get out there and I'm talking to her and I'm talking to the lady that called in on her. And we're trying to get this sorted out. And she was the aggressor in this situation. So they want her trespassed. Well, while I'm talking to these guys, I'm getting radio checks, but I'm not hearing them.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
big no.
So I'm inside talking to these guys. And next thing I know, I've got 3 units pulling up, lights and sirens going, wondering what the hell is going on.
Okay, when you were standing there, you could hear those sirens coming from a distance.
No, I didn't hear them till they were like up on the building.
Oh,
getting out
okay.
the units. So I was like inside talking to these people.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So eventually I hear these guys out there and I walk out. I'm like wondering what the hell is going on. Obviously something I did. The new guy, he messed up. Okay. So I get out there and Renniks is out there and he jumps out of the vehicle. He makes a beeline straight towards me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay, dude. I'm just talking to these guys." He's like, "You weren't checking your radio, man. You weren't checking your radio."
Renniks is there to save him.
Yeah. He came to save my butt.
Good
apparently.
Lord.
So that's that's good on him. I mean, good to know that system works.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Okay, all right, I'm gonna go talk to these guys." So he goes inside, just takes over the whole thing. Is like, "I'm gonna make sure this happens. All right, this is my scene now." I'm like, "Cool, dude."
Oh, okay.
So he does this thing, and I'm talking.
Like, dude, go back home.
Yeah,
I'm okay. Go home.
yeah, I'm okay. So I go and talk to this lady that's about to get trespassed, trying to figure out the situation. And like I said, she's a little Asian lady, not really coming across very clear, and I'm not able to communicate with her very well. But enough is
So
getting
in
said.
those situations, both of you are probably getting frustrated with each other because neither one of you can really understand what the other one's saying.
Yeah,
Google Translate.
yeah. I have that app on my phone. I'd have mine to pull it out. But about that time, Renniks comes around the corner, making a beeline straight back to me, and just like, I don't know, bulldozes me out of the way and starts talking to the little Chinese lady.
Okay.
Now, mind you, he hasn't talked to her before this. He got out of the car, talked to you, and then went and talked to the people that called, right? So he
Yeah.
hasn't met the lady.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Just so
He
y'all
hasn't
are
met her
tracking.
yet. So he gets the information from inside. I talked with him about it later. It was essentially the same story that they gave me, they gave to him. So he comes outside, full head of steam, bulldozes me out of the way. Is like, "Here, this is what's going on. You're trespassing from the property."
He's throwing a knife hand, just
Throw-
you guys
throw
can
the-
see.
throw the
Throwing
knife
knife hands.
Throwing knife hands. Like, here's what's going to happen. You need to get in your van. You need to go home, take your kids home. One of two options. You're going to jail or you can go home with your kids. And if that's the case, if you're going to jail, CPN is going to come out here and take your kids.
Right.
And I'm like, Okay, that's a little intense, man. But I understand. Like I said, he had just gotten out there on running code. Anxiety's a little high, making sure I'm safe. So I can understand, anxiety's a little bit heightened. So he's just trying to get this settled and over with. So I get that. Well, eventually, she's just repeating back to him what he's saying, like the last word that he says: jail or home, jail or home. And finally, she says it enough times. She looks straight at Renniks, dead in the eyes, and it's like staring somebody down, like challenging him. Jail.
Bet. Bet.
Jail. And I was like, oh, okay. So I cuff her up and put her over in the unit, and I talked to her over there for a few minutes while Renniks is trying to figure this stuff out. I'm like, listen, okay, it ain't that big deal. It's $40. Just get in the van, take your kids, and go home. And I mean, essentially that was that. And that's what happened.
Oh.
I mean, you think about, and none of us want to do that because, you take them to jail and then Child Protective Services get involved. They got to go somewhere else. You have to sit and wait for them. It's like a tragic thing for them kids to go through. And you don't want to have to do that crap.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
It's kind of one of those, this is what can happen. It will happen if you don't go home. Just go home.
And I think everybody's done that where they're like, look, there's your choices. You're either going to jail or you're going home. Pick.
Jail.
And I bet when this woman looked at him and went, jail, he probably was like, whoa, what? Excuse me?
That was not.
You're not supposed to say that.
Yeah. No, you can phone a friend if you need to.
But I guess she was just getting frustrated with him because it was scaring the kids. It was scaring her. She didn't really understand, because, again, the language barrier. So I think, I didn't think she meant it to come across that way, but finally it did. It's just like jail. Like, do it. Jail.
Yeah.
You won't. He's a say I won't. You won't.
Yeah. So, he's over there turtlenecking and I don't know.
Well, there's more to this though, because when they drop tones on him, Renniks calls me. He's like, "Hey, you got to go to Josh. I don't know what's going on." I was like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "They're drop tones," and I was like, "Crap, I'm not even dressed." And I was like, "Are you dressed?" And he's like, "Everything but my boots." I was like, "Well, then why are you calling me, dude? Like, go see what's up." And he's like, "Well, I got to come up with the little ones here." And I was like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm going to get my stuff around. I'm going to head that way. Can you come over here and sit with him? He's asleep right now. Everything's cool. He's asleep." Yeah. I was like, "Okay, okay." So I get up and I'm going out the door in a flash. Well, Holly's like, "What's wrong?" She comes bouncing behind me. Mind you, she's ready for bed. She comes bouncing along behind me and she's in her shorts and her tank top thing. I'm like, "I got to go to Renniks. I got to watch the kid." And she's like, "What? Huh? Somebody left a kid with him?" No. But I was like, "Yeah, I got to go over there." I was like, he's got to go check on him. And there's a bunch of crap going on anyway. I'll be there. So she grabs her robe and hauls over there with me to his house.
Grabs her robe. So y'all were getting ready for bed.
Oh, we were in bed. I was almost out. So I get over there and Renniks is in the car getting ready to go, just waiting on to see my lights. I pull up, he turns his on. He's like, "I'll holler in a minute." And he hauls out to where Yoshi's at. And so I get there and I'm like, "All right, yeah, cool. Kid's asleep. No big deal." And then I'm like, "Wait a minute. I've only met this kid one other time." I'm like, "What? Where's its stuff?" Where does it eat food? Does it eat bottles? Where is that?
How old is this kid?
That's what I'm saying. I've only met it once. Oh. So I'm like, wait a minute. Does it have diapers? Does he have diapers? Where are the diapers? Wait, can I just point it towards the restroom and tell it to go? And then I'm like, this isn't going to work out anyway, because as soon as that kid wakes up and I go in there and go, shh, it's going to scream.
It's going to freak out.
Some strange man that it's never seen before. I was just like, oh, this is not going to work. This is not going to be good. So I'm sitting over there and I'm like, crap. Holly's like, what? And I relay, the situation that we're in with the food and with the diapers or whatever that situation is. And I'm like, crap. And she's like, well, ask him. I was like, well, he's on that call right now. I don't want to blow him up over that. I was like, if we get to that point, I will. And she's like, well, I'll just talk to his girlfriend. And I was like, okay. So she goes, I think she texts like, "Hey girl, what's up?" And of course she hits her back, and like nothing. Like, so what time do you get off tonight? Oh, I don't know, maybe 1:30. And Holly's like, oh. Of course she goes, why? Nothing. Just sitting at the house with your kid. And she's like, what? So then, instead of me blowing him up, she turns around and blows him up and wants to know why we're there, what happened. She went into complete mom freak out mode there for a minute because she thought she was calling him by his government name.
Renniks was about to die.
Full government name. I'm not 100% sure that he didn't, because the next day he was pretty salty and he didn't come in. He didn't want me to see him. So I'm pretty sure she beat the crap out of him.
Blacked his eye or something.
Yeah. Because he had I don't know, he had some issues. But yeah, so there was more to that. There was more to that. Of course, and then he called me. I guess, right about the time she had made the jail decision. And he's like, bro, she said jail. What do I do now? And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And he's like, I was like, she's not going to go home? And he's like, no, she said she'd go. And I was like, oh, we got to talk her out of this. I was like, is there anybody that she can call to come get the kids? Is that what we got to do? And he's like, I can see. I was like, dude, you got to do something. I was like, otherwise we got to call CPS. We got to take the kids to the PD. We got to sit with them. You know what I'm saying? It becomes this whole big old to-do. I was like, are you sure that's what she said? Is that really what's going on? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Yoshi's over there talking to her right now. And I was like, okay, well, call me back if something changes.
Maybe he can talk some sense into her.
Oh, man. I don't know. But apparently out of that, you made a friend, right?
Yeah. I made a big friend. She ended up messaging me the next night. It was like thanking me for my service, telling me how great I was, and I was a nice cop, and Renniks was not a nice cop.
Well, she probably thought about it later, and she's like, wait a minute. I think I asked those guys to take me to jail. Yeah. She's like, she's probably thinking, I was so mad that I told them to take me to jail. Yeah. It's like, I'm glad that one guy was a little level-headed there.
Well, the only thing that I can really think is that, like you said, that maybe the barrier wasn't that good. And he was like, look, you can go home. And she's like, home, like, understand that word. But then he's like, or you go to jail. And she's like, jail? What does this mean?
Yeah, like she,
like
jail?
Jail?
Like, what is jail?
What is jail? Yeah. Like, maybe she didn't know what jail was. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, she knew.
Oh, she knew?
She knew.
100%. Okay. Well, never mind then.
I mean, she falls right in line. I told her, cuff up. And she was like, okay. So I get over to the unit and get away from the whole situation. I'm like, listen, I don't really want to take her to jail. I want kids to be stranded out here while they're waiting to get a hold of their dad or whatever. It's like, just come to the station tomorrow, write a statement, we'll figure it out. I don't know. Eventually that got through. I did it in, I don't want to say broken English, but really simplified English. I finally got my point across. And finally, eventually, was able to get back over to the van. They took off, followed them out of the county, so it was all good.
We'll have more coming up on Code 0.5.
If you're looking for a political podcast that goes beyond the headlines, check out the Beltway Briefing. I'm Howard Schweitzer, CEO of Cozen O'Connor Public Strategies. Every week on the Beltway Briefing, our team of former Republican and Democratic presidential appointees, Capitol Hill veterans, and political advocates shares behind-the-scenes perspective that cuts through the noise. If you want the inside scoop, subscribe now to the Beltway Briefing here or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, and like when we were in school, they always told you had to take a foreign language.
Yeah.
Was Mandarin one of y'all's choices?
No.
Because that probably would have been beneficial. Because I come across more people that speak Mandarin now than I do that speak Spanish.
Oh, well, can you even get that on Google Translate?
I don't know, but there's like so many different dialects too.
Yeah.
Well, even if you can't speak Mandarin and that other person can, you probably still can't communicate with them.
Ooh, yeah, that could be bad. You try to use it in that, like you say, like chair, in the one dialect, but it's FU in their dialect. You know what I'm saying? And they like get those words crossed. Then you got a fighter. What do that can be.
Well, I know Tagalog's a big one right now. The Filipinos, the Filipinas. I mean, there's a big population like growing in Oklahoma right now. And I can hold a conversation like Spanish, but it doesn't mean dick anymore.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
everybody knows Spanish.
Muchacho, gordita, queso. Those are not like
I know
words
some
to
colors.
Yeah.
I know the cuss words.
Like even like in the military, they don't even pay. Like they pay for having like being bilingual.
Right.
Spanish doesn't count anymore.
Why? It's a second language.
I don't know. It's just I guess it's just so common.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, I made a stop. Well, it wasn't a stop. There was a wreck on the highway one time, and there was 4 people in the car that all spoke Mandarin. And we finally had somebody show up that these people worked for that could speak English, that was translating for us. But I mean, no, there was 3 people in the car, and what it was boiling down to is I was like, I'm fixing to take them all to jail. I think this is what's fixing to happen. And then the guy that spoke English got there and was able to translate, and I was right. I took all of them to jail.
Yeah. Jail is no bueno.
But yeah, I can't. There's, and you know the big influx of, and I don't even know what are they. They're not. Who speaks Mandarin? Is it Chinese?
It's Chinese, yeah.
Well, are they Mandarins or are they Chinese?
I don't
are they
know.
Chinese Mandarin?
Well, Chinese is the people. Mandarin is the language.
See if it's even.
Because like ever since we got the those marijuana grows, it seems like they're everywhere now.
There you go. So apparently you can manage your languages, and Chinese Mandarin from Taiwan is on there, and then you have Mandarin, which is the China mainland, is on there. Why would you need a UK translator? Oi, mate.
Yeah. Oi, bruv.
Give us a point.
You know, there's another word that they use a lot. That if we were to say that, people like freak out and stuff.
Oh, they use a bunch that are.
Yeah,
Crisps.
I'm talking about another C word.
Oh, yeah.
You use that word, and like over here, people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that."
Oh, yeah,
And over there, they say it all the time.
That'll
like,
get
no
you
big
knocked
deal.
smooth out.
Yeah.
If you say it to the wrong person.
I don't know. I think people overreact on words.
I have a.
What word is it again?
Rhymes with hunt.
Oh,
Or if you like baseball, you bunt.
I have a derivative of that for Renniks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Is this something we need to talk about when we're not recording?
Probably. It's a mixture of chubby and hunt.
I'm over here sounding it out.
Yeah. We need a bleep button.
Like, chat.
You know what? We need to, his new girlfriend or whatever, we need to thank her.
We need to have her on.
Because she has like got him so occupied that we don't have to deal with him anymore.
No.
He doesn't come rolling up in here and, you know, killing the atmosphere, the vibe. And
Okay. So what you're experiencing now is like that doesn't happen very often. Because we see him all the time. We see him daily.
Oh, yeah.
He was mad at me. He's mad at me, been mad at me. He only started talking to me today. Somebody called me or sent me a crappy text messages, and I sent it over to him because I was laughing about it. And he's like, yeah, screw all that. And then I was like, you love me. And he's like, you're a bastard. I was like, but you still love me. He's like, that's not the point. So somebody, somehow, some way, and we don't even know who it was. He could have won some kind of sweepstakes for all he knows, but they called him and woke him up. But they asked if it was Officer Renniks, and he got pissed. He got pissed. But I had made up this deal. You know how like when somebody calls you on iPhone, you can send a message. You can like I'm on my way or driving or whatever. I made one that was like, sorry, I can't answer right now. Contact Officer Renniks at his personal phone number with anything you may need. And so he didn't believe me. And I was like, no, seriously, call me. And so I sent it. And he's like, oh, no. You did. And I was like, I told you. And he's like, how many times have you done that? And I was like, I don't know, how many calls do I get a day? And he's like, no. All the color left from his face, dude.
And I get those messages too. It's in a group chat. She was salty AF.
Oh, AF.
When is he not?
No, but the difference is, like, with me and him, he's like, all right, I don't know which one of you gave beep my beep phone number, but beepity beep. And then the other group that we're in, which is all our other people we work with, is like, I would really appreciate it if you would refrain from sending my personal cell phone number out to anybody. If you do, please ask me for permission prior to doing so. Thank you. And I'm like, what we couldn't get that?
Yeah,
like, you're over here calling us everything but freaking white boys, and then over here you're all nice.
I think I'm gonna start giving his number out.
Oh God.
He doesn't ever talk to me anymore.
He don't.
He doesn't ever
He
text
does.
me or nothing. I mean, he talks to me
Calls
if he
you.
sees me over there.
Oh, he calls you time to time. Just see how you're doing.
Oh, speaking of missing
Checking
phone calls, I think I pissed off our lieutenant yesterday.
Oh
Or
yeah.
I say my lieutenant.
Mm.
I guess one of the guys needed off or something, so we were supposed to be on call starting at 4 a.m.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, there was something, and it wasn't a big urgent matter. It was a, little kid didn't want to listen to mommy call,
Okay.
so they're needing one of us to respond. Well, they called me at like 4:30, 4:31, 4:35, and then lieutenant calls me at 4:45, 4:50. Well, my phone's on Do Not Disturb from like 11 p.m. to 6 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
so it never goes off. I woke up that morning, 6:30 or so, look at my phone, all these damn missed calls from them. I'm like, the hell are they calling me for? So I call my lieutenant. I'm asking, I was like, why in the hell is dispatch freaking blowing my phone up? And he goes, because we were on call starting at 4 a.m. When? And he goes, today. Would have been nice if somebody told me that.
I didn't get that email.
Yeah, so my lieutenant gets up at 4:45 and goes and deals with this little kid that wouldn't listen to mommy.
Which one was it?
What? Lieutenant?
Yeah, which lieutenant?
The one that's on my shift. The old one. The mean one.
Oh, he had to go to that?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for that kid.
This little kid I guess, was saying that my parents beat me or something, and said that the reason why she was trying to leave or something was because parents were beating on her. She didn't have a mark on her or nothing. She was just being defiant. And he looked at her and he was like, you see this? And he showed her his hand. And he was like, if an adult got a hold of you, I promise there'd be marks on you. And she just stopped immediately. He ended up talking to her and finding out that it was basically, I think it was over a cell phone thing, and that's why she got mad.
That crap right there.
Entitlement.
It's the schools, man.
Schools.
Yeah, because last month was, what is it? Child Domestic Violence Awareness. Child Abuse
Awareness Month.
Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And when I asked the twins to do their chores, that's child abuse.
Oh, it's
Like,
fixing
what?
to
It's
be
about-
child
yeah,
abuse.
it's about to be. Hey, go pick your shoes up. That's child abuse. Boy, if you don't, I eventually had to have the come to Jesus meeting with them and explain to them the difference.
Well, and they'll also tell them, it's like, if they talk bad to you or whatever, and then if you tell them, if you don't start acting right, I'm going to bust your ass. That's child abuse. No, it's not. That's fixing a problem.
Yeah. Tell them they're going to friggin' call. You get those kids that want to holler that, like, I'll call DHS. The parents call you and they're like, I can't get them to do nothing because they said they're going to call DHS. And I'm like, you know what? Hang on a minute. Text a couple of the workers I know, like, hey, can you give somebody a call real quick? And then you'd be surprised how quick the tables turn once the parents realize that there's, obviously there's a difference between beating the hell out of your kid and disciplining your kid. But once those parents realize the way the workers feel, game on.
Yeah.
And
Take your
that
belt
crap
off.
stops.
Yeah. Bust their ass. Don't whop them upside the head with it.
Oh, no.
Bust them across the butt.
No.
And within reason, don't do it 47 times. And, where they, like back in the day where we couldn't sit down for a while, that might be going a little too far.
Oh, my dad used to whip my ass.
I don't know. I'm fortunate. I don't have any kids, and whenever I do watch my nieces and nephews, I just send them home if they're acting like assholes.
There you go.
So,
You lucky bastard.
yeah.
I got one that's 18, fixing to go to Tahlequah for college.
Mm-hmm.
I got one that just turned 16 that I guess, what was it? He got his permit like 4 or 5 days after he had turned 15 and a half.
Mm.
So he can't get his license yet. He's got to wait a few more days because I guess it's like exactly 6 months on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be driving soon.
Your oldest is 8 up.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe it. Yeah. She asked him to ask me if I spray tan. He's just like randomly at friggin' 8 o'clock at night. He's like, "Hey, Rich, do you spray tan?" It's like, no.
And I don't notice that stuff. Like whenever she was like, well, he's like dark complected and it's not even really summertime yet. And I was like, I don't know. Ask him. She's like, no, you ask him. Okay.
She could get pretty dark complected too if she like stood out in the sun
She can. Too.
waiting.
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait.
When I told you or asked you that and you answered, then you're like, wait, why?
Yeah.
Why the hell are y'all asking me this? I don't know. Stupid kid.
Mm.
It's easy to see that you're native, but then I caught a glimpse of your legs out there. You're wearing shorts today.
Yeah.
Widest legs I've ever seen.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't
He's
do that
native
very
from
often.
like the midsection.
Native from the waist up.
From the waist up.
Because I looked earlier too when I mentioned that story. I looked down at his legs and I was like, "Damn, man, is he wearing socks or what?"
This part will not tan. I ran around all day yesterday with a sleeveless shirt, and I can't get tan from here to here.
Oh, you remember how I told you our captain texted me one day and he was like, "Well, apparently I'm a psychopath," and I'm like, "Why?" So, because I wear white socks.
Old Cap and Lamb Chop.
Yeah. Okay. Do you never wear white socks?
Me?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Or okay. Or were you just saying that? Because see, now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I wear white socks sometimes.
You would.
If I have white tennis shoes on and I wear those low cut socks, I have white socks that I wear with them.
That's that drip.
The drip.
I remember the first time my daughter said that shit. I looked around and I was like, is something leaking?
Dude, his white socks with those New Balance shoes he was talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, he'd be the Rizzler. Freaking Rizzly Bear over here.
But I'd have to get the taller socks too.
And the jean shorts.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to happen.
You won't.
It's going to happen.
Oh, y'all get to go take her to campus?
Yes.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes. I'm going to.
Yes.
She doesn't ever listen to this, so she'll never know it's coming.
Yes.
Matter of fact, our last episode, I listened to it just to let everybody else hear it. And she's sitting there going, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And she goes, you just think you're so cool and you're not.
Well,
Then she got to listening to it and she was like, wait, really? And started asking me questions. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought this was dumb. And yeah.
Yeah, now it's stupid. My daughter will come home and she'll be like, my friends listen to your podcast. It's just like, oh, why? She's like a little Wednesday Addams, man. She's just like, why do you do that to me? Telling stories about mom.
You're embarrassing me,
My
Dad.
friends listen to this.
Well, we can start telling stories about her.
It's not really too many to tell. She like lives in her room.
Well, I'm
That's
sure
it.
you could come up with something.
She
to
regularly
embarrass her.
exits that room.
'Cause, I mean, we can make her famous.
I see her in passing. Literally live in the house with this girl, and I
How old is
have
she?
to ask if she's even home now. I'm like, it's quiet. Is she even here?
I do the same thing. How old is she, though?
She is. Oh man, hang on. Was it 17? 15?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Whenever mine turned 16, never see her again.
Mm,
And then for some reason, she was working 2 jobs.
bet.
Yeah,
Trying to get that bread.
I guess so. And then she was
Hungry.
like freaking out because she's like, what is taxes? What do you mean I have to file taxes? And I was like, good Lord, they don't teach you anything in school, do
You
they?
didn't think you were going to get all this for nothing, did
Yeah.
you?
Well, and then she thinks it's neat. She filed them. I mean, she doesn't make nothing. So what little she paid in taxes, she got it right back.
Nice.
So,
Jeez.
She was balling, wasn't she?
yeah, like $30 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Need to open up the savings account real fast.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to stop rambling. We're going to get off here. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. And then we've got Patreon. There's one person that looked at it, and then that was the end of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get off here. Thanks for listening.
Later.
You have been listening to Code 0.5, the lighter side of police work. If you have ideas or suggestions for our show, we'd love to hear from you. Visit our website at code05.co. That's code05.co. And please consider making a donation at our Patreon page, patreon.com/code05. Be sure to use the digits 05. Thanks for listening to Code 0.5.